I'm back. What's going on, everybody? Jeff Rose from GoodFinancialCense.com with another edition of GFC TV. And this is where I want to answer a reader question. If you want to be one of those readers that gets their question answered, you can head on over to GoodFinancialCense.com/ask and ask away, and we'll get you an answer. So today's question comes from Shane, and Shane asked, I'm self-employed, so I don't have the luxury of having a 401k. I do have a Roth that I contribute to the maximum amount each year, but my question is, are there any other ways that I can put money away for the future that will give me a decent return? All right, Shane, thanks for that question. So for all my self-employed people out there, listen up, because guess what? I'm right there with you. So this is the exact path that I took on saving for my own retirement. As Shane mentioned, he has a Roth IRA. So whether you are self-employed or if you are employed by a company, you can do a traditional or a Roth IRA. Now, if you're younger, I would definitely gravitate towards the Roth IRA because I love tax-free money. Tax-free money, baby, woo! So the Roth IRA, right now you can put in $5,500 a year, and this is 2016. It generally will go up each year, so make sure you check the IRS website to verify what the limits are. But that is the most that you can put in per year. So if your self-employed business or whatever you're doing self-employed wise is making you more and you want to contribute more, then the question that Shane is getting to is, what other options do you have? Well, the first option that I went towards is called the SEP IRA. Now, SEP stands for Simplified Employee Pension, which you do not need to know, so that's more information, but now you know. What the SEP allows you to do is to put in 25% of your total compensation per year as a tax deduction. And you can put in up to currently $53,000 per year. So that is a good chunk of money that you can put in. Basically, that works just like a 401k. So the other beautiful thing though, compared that to a 401k, is that this is not an ERISA governed plan. And you're probably wondering, what does that mean and what does that have to do with me? Well, basically what it means is that you don't have to file any extra paperwork, any special forms each year with the IRS, and you don't have to pay an additional fee to have your own 401k plan. The SEP IRA is where I went from. Whenever I had my Roth IRA and I wanted to be able to save more, I went with the SEP and did that for the next 3 years. So the next step that you can do if you want to be able to put more money in, or if 25% of your total compensation, if you have more money to put in, the next step is what's called the solo 401k. Now, you can only do a solo 401k if you are self-employed. You can have one other business partner, which is typically a spouse, but any more than that, then you have to have a traditional 401k. But right now in your situation, you could do a solo 401k, and that allows you to put in up to that $53,000 without having to do any sort of percentage of your total compensation. So you can put in the most that you want to put in. You don't have to do all that testing with the SEP. So that's one of the beautiful things about the solo 401k. Now, the downside is that it is an ERISA governed plan. So what does that mean? That means that every single year you have to file what's called a 5500 with the IRS, showing how much you made and how much you put in and all that jazz. What that also means is that you probably have to pay somebody a decent amount of money to file that 5500 on your behalf, because that's something you don't want to do on your own, because you do not want to get on the IRS's bad side. So typically, to get the plan set up and to do that each and every year, you're looking at about $500 to $1,500 per year, depending. So compare that to the SEP, where there basically is no cost, maybe a $50 IRA fee per year. You can see that is a huge expense. But when you get to the point where you want to be able to put more money in, that's where a solo 401k could make sense. So Shane, I hope that answered your question. Right now, you're doing great with a Roth IRA. I love it. Keep that path. When you get to the point that you maxed out your Roth IRA, look at the SEP IRA. If you want to be able to save more, then the next step up is the solo 401k. So if you're out there on the Good Financial Sense community, if you have a question, head on over to goodfinancialsense.com/ask and ask your question, because guess what? I want to give you an answer. This is Jeff Rose. Until next time, take care.